look in the mirror, man, you're so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you.
Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. If you're easily triggered, leave now because this is not the show for you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to be talking to you about today is about the pitfalls of legal marriage. I will be discussing the cons of legal marriage. So let me go ahead and get into this married couple, and then I'm going to also provide to you statistical data to back up what it is that I'm trying to explain to y'all, okay? So hold on for a second as I put it on your screen. You know how I get down. Okay, let's get it.
You had said some hurtful things to me in the past, and I really took it to heart. I couldn't understand why you would say the things that you would say, right?
That's hurt people hurt people.
Yeah, that's...
We're going to stop right there for a second so I can explain that. Now, I used to think that when I was younger, before I came into a deepened understanding about how life works, hurt people isn't true. I repeat, it isn't true. What is true is hurt people who allow it. If you allow yourself, gentlemen, to be with a woman who is a Jezebel, who continuously disrespects you, run around and cheat on you, always pull you down and try to break your self-esteem, and you choose to stay there, then you are allowing it. You are not a victim. Now, if she does things behind your back and you're not aware of it, and then you find out about it, then you were a victim at that time because she was doing things behind your back. But if you choose to stay there because you are so emotionally attached to that woman, then it is on you. So it is not hurt people. It is hurt people, only hurt people that allow them to hurt them. You get what I'm saying? So to my gentleman, you have to take some accountability for staying, not accountability for what she's doing, because that's a grown woman, okay? And this is a married couple, and you hear a man almost in a beta male type of mindset saying, I can't understand why you would say the things you said to me, why you hurt me. See, women don't understand that when a man puts a ring on your finger, or if a man says he wants to be your husband, he is really at the most vulnerable part of his life, because when you are emotionally attached to a woman, you're at your weakest position in life, because you will take things from her that you wouldn't take from nobody else, okay? Most men want to keep the family together. Most men want to keep their wives, okay? It is the woman who wants to separate and destroy the family unit when she's getting her emotions. A lot of time, women put men in their emotions, but they don't leave because they want to keep that family there. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. This is one of the pitfalls of marriage, gentlemen, that you can get a woman who is a Jezebel. Now, don't get it wrong. Jezebel don't start out being Jezebel, okay? Jezebel started out being the most wholesome woman, or the woman that you think, or the woman of your dreams. That's how Jezebel normally start out. Once she gets her hooks in you, once you begin to fall in love with this Jezebel, once you begin to say, I'm gonna propose her, and after you propose, you get married to her, then you will see a darker side of her, and then you would see the true Jezebel spirit in her. Now, sometimes you'll see the Jezebel spirit in her before you get married. Say, nah, I'm done with this. I don't want nothing to do with her. Some men go through that and some men don't. But when you put yourself in legal marriage, you have the government in your relationship. The government has more power, gentlemen, in your relationship than you or that woman. Because at the end of the day, if she files for divorce, the government decides how much of your stuff that she gets. The government decides how much alimony you pay, how much spousal support you pay, how much child support you should pay. The government makes that decision. I do believe that you should take care of your children. I'm just using that as an example of how much power the government has in a legal marriage, okay? I want you to understand that. Even in common law marriage, the government can creep in and cause you a lot of hell, all right? Let's keep going.
And that's what I was just about to say.
Thing.
For years, you tried to communicate how you were feeling. Like you wanted me to see your pain. You wanted me to understand your pain. And because I wasn't open to empathizing or putting myself in your shoes, you went from wanting me to see and understand your pain to wanting to inflict pain.
Now think about the beta male simple mind here. He is blaming himself for everything she's done to him. He said, because I taking responsibility, right, for being a simp, I chose to ignore X, Y, and Z, so you decided to inflict pain upon me. You decided to talk crazy to me. You decided to raise your voice at me. You decided to call me outside of my name. You decided to cause me stress and pain. and he's taking full responsibility of another person's actions. You cannot take responsibility for another person's actions. You see what I'm saying? When you are emotionally attached to a woman who is a Jezebel in spirit, a rebellious woman, a woman who cannot control her emotions, she will lash out like that and you will blame yourself. You will always see yourself as the problem. This is what happens to many men who are beta males who think they are alphas. There are a lot of beta males who think they are sigma males and alphas, but they're not even gamma males, they're not delta males, and so on and so forth. They're straight beta males. Now, look how big the dude is. When you see him, he's a big sized dude. He'll probably fight you and get on you. But the one thing in his life that he can't defeat is a woman. But this is legal marriage. Let's keep going.
Because when somebody trying to get you to see them, they're trying to get you to understand what they're going through and how bad it's hurting them, and you continue to turn away from them. You don't want to listen. You don't want to take accountability. Then your partner starts to inflict pain. They start to do things to hurt you. They start to say things to hurt you. That doesn't mean that the things that you were doing were right.
Right.
But I had to understand, because we didn't start like this.
Right.
Nobody makes this type of drastic change for no reason.
When you get into those moments where you're just hashing out just blows left and right to just hurt your partner, you have to really sit back and think to yourself, is this what I wanted when I went into my relationship? Is this what I wanted when I went into my marriage? Like, this is not what I seen for myself. I didn't decide that I wanted to marry this man to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want him to feel heartbroken or upset because of my words or my actions. I don't want to add that extra pain to this person for what? I want to love them. I want to take that pain away.
But it didn't happen like that, okay? She's admitting to hurting her partner. Even if a woman feels neglected by her husband, she has no business trying to hurt her husband. They need to work that out, get some therapy or whatever it may be. But that's legal marriage. It's cheaper to keep her. No, it's not. If you got the money, pay that woman off in a divorce and start over. Because what it is, that little bit of money that you have, is it worth being miserable the rest of your life? Yeah, you're gonna take a loss, but I'm telling you, a peace of mind might be better when y'all separate. You think about it. Now, let me play this on here for you. Let you hear this woman. And this gentleman talk about it as well. Pardon me. Let's get it.
No, because I feel like we always talk about like how divorce affects women, but we don't talk about how it affects men.
It affects men the exact same way. I have 3 or 4 friends, some top name, I'm not even gonna bring their names into it, A-list celebrities, and big friends, regular friends. Every man, it affects them the exact same way. I know at least 3 people sane and like me. I don't give a about nothing. I literally considered suicide.
Did you hear that? Women think that men do not suffer in relationships, especially when they're at the end of a marriage. A lot of because the world unfortunately see men as beasts of burden. They see us as men who can just take it on the chin. We don't have no feelings. All we supposed to do is supply and meet the demands and stuff like that. There have been many men who have ended themselves behind a woman, behind a relationship that did not work out. All right. Again, legal marriage. It's different than being with a girlfriend or even with a fiance, because now you're putting your name on a woman. That means that you really, really, really love this woman, that you really, really, really want to be with this woman. And then she hits you with the divorce papers. And according to the numbers, it ain't always because of infidelity. Only I think about 24% or less are actually getting divorces. I did a video over that, by the way. 24% or less of women are getting divorces based on abuse. So that's over 75% women who are not. You get what I'm saying? And the rest of the time, women are leaving because they're bored, not because of anything else. Or the main reason for divorce is infidelity. Next is money. You hear what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
Wow.
I know 3 other guys literally considered it as well. It is exactly as devastating to a man as it is to a woman.
Really?
And they can't believe that. They can't believe that. I got something I'm going to show you. Like I said, this is really a business. Now let's get into the business side of it. The negative things that'll put you in the red, so to speak. Then I'm gonna give you some statistical data right after this. Listen to this white gentleman and he'll tell you what he went through, and it's horrible.
So how much did my divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. There's direct and there's indirect costs. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half of all the non-liquid assets like furniture, household goods, electronics, cars. Keep in mind, I paid for all of these. And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25. Indirect costs, my job, my sobriety, my self-worth, my masculinity, my hope for the future, my ability to trust women again, my belief in God, my pride, my motivation, my physical health. I don't know, let's just say everything.
Now think about the business side of that. He lost his masculinity and his faith in his God. So keep thinking that you could just get into a marriage and think there's no negative consequences to it. I am all about and all for marriage with the right woman, but I am not for marriage with today's modern day woman because they're gonna burn you. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna put this on the screen so we can read this together 1 second as I tell you what I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you this. Gentlemen, even if you find a woman and you say you want to marry her and she's about 19 years old or 20 years old, whatever the legal age is, keep in mind in this feminist world, that daughter, if she came up in a single parent home or in a home where they did not teach traditional values, she has at least an 18 or 19 year head start in feminism. So when you get her, you're not gonna take that out of her. She's gonna have to take that out of herself. Now, some of these women don't even know how to treat a man, so you would find yourself trying to teach her things about you. That's why they call you the groom, because you're supposed to groom the woman into what it means to be a wife. A lot of people don't know that. I might cover that in a different video. But anyway, long story short, gentlemen, it don't matter if she's 18 or 19 years old or 20 years old, whatever the legal age for you in your state. 20 years, that's 2 decades. I'm gonna take away, say about 5 or 8 when you're a little youngster, but when she became a teenager, it's still over about 15 years, right? Of feminist doctrine that's been placed in her mind, okay? She's not gonna be traditional. Now let's read this together. A marriage certificate is a legal document that proves a couple is legally married. Excuse me. It's issued by the state or county clerk after a wedding based on the couple's marriage license and usually includes the following information. The date, time, place of the wedding. Excuse me. The names of the spouses, the name of the officiant, the names of any witnesses, a statement that the couple was married in accordance with the local regulation. This is a legally binding document, y'all. This is a contractual agreement, all right? A statement that the couple presented a valid marriage license before the ceremony. Now, this was gonna be the kicker right here, this right here. Marriage certificates can be used for many purposes, including sharing health benefits, filing taxes, applying for home loans or mortgages, proving identity, traveling internationally, changing your name to your spouse's. Now, I want you to pay attention to all that stuff you just heard me read. That is a document, okay? It's like when you're getting a job and you got to fill out the job application. You put in your name, your social security, your birthday, stuff like that, and you say, hey, on this contract, if you hire me, I'll work for X amount of wages, okay? When you get into a legal bonded marriage, the government is all in your business. It don't matter what you do. And the government gives her the right to take half your stuff. So I want y'all to consider the negative things about marriage, okay? Not just about the positive things, okay? Y'all need to hear this stuff, because a lot of y'all probably think about marrying some muscle back helper right now. I wouldn't marry a modern day woman. I wouldn't do it, man. You're gonna hurt yourself. In about 5 or 6 years, that's how long marriages are lasting anyway, 5 years majority of the time. In 5 years, you're gonna wish you listened to Mr. Hill. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Let's play this right here. I want you to hear what this gentleman has to say.
For men who divorce, they lose more than half of their net worth. They lose their self-respect. And for a lot of divorced men, they even lose their lives. Divorced dads 10 times a day end themselves because they've come to the conclusion, I'm the problem, I'm the a-hole, remove me. They're cut off from their legacy, they're cut off from their kids, they feel rejected, and the person that I put ahead of my life, that I sacrificed for, that I love, that I put on this pedestal has abandoned me, Maybe I am worthless. Maybe I am a piece of crap. Maybe I don't deserve to be alive. And that negative self-talk drives them into the pavement. They take a permanent L. And now that pain and misery they feel inside gets rippled into the family, into the children. And the scariest part is for kids whose dads end themselves, they're more likely to do the same thing. My dad didn't stick around. Why should I? We gotta change that.
Now, do you understand? Do you understand how dangerous it is now? That I'm trying to give you a warning about what it is? You got to really consider that. Get outside your feelings, gentlemen, and think about the what if. Because the what if might happen quicker than you think it will. All right? And put one more on here and we're going to keep going. I hope I'm nailing this point in. I'm not saying to not get married. I'm just telling you to evaluate and think about the future. A lot of time when you think about the future, you think about kids and a white picket fence and a house and stuff like that, right? Money and stuff. But you're not thinking as a man about what can happen to you if it don't work out, because you're in a contract that won't set you free. Okay, you're not free when you're in a contract. You're just not. All right. That contract has more power than you want it to have. So let's go ahead and play this lady right here. Let her tell you her idea. I think she's a lawyer, if I'm correct. Let's keep going. Divorce lawyer.
Divorce is harder on men. People do not think that divorce is harder on men because men move on quicker. But what they don't realize is that these men are grieving. They don't have a social network to talk to and to be supportive of them, so they're moving on. Men bottle up their emotions, and that results in depression and anxiety. Generally, they don't have a lot of people to talk to about this stuff, and they're not able to really express themselves and talk about the terrible feelings that they have. Generally, men's health declines. Many men self-medicate.
Think about that. Your health declines. My daddy told me years ago as a young man, if you ever go through a serious breakup, Jeremy, don't ever touch the bottle. Don't drink until you are completely over it. Because a lot of men who never drunk before become alcoholics after the end of a relationship with someone they love. And my daddy got that game from an older man than him. My daddy's 74, 75 years old. And the older man told him that. And then my daddy passed it on to me. A lot of men turn to things that will hold them up as a crutch when they're hurting, when they're grieving. Don't ever drink when you're going through a pain like this, through a breakup. Don't do no drugs. Don't do any of that stuff. Don't self-medicate. Don't do any of that stuff. Give yourself time to grieve. I know it's hard. Maybe you want to take a shot, but you never know. So the thing is, when you take a shot of this or drink of that, you don't know where it's going to stop. It might keep going. The next thing you know, you become dependent on that to relieve you of everything whenever you go through shit, okay? It's hard, but it's best to not get under the influence of anything when you're going through a divorce or anything serious of that nature. Let's keep going.
Health declines. Many men self-medicate, turn to alcohol and drugs because they don't have a support system. And then they rush into new relationships because they don't want to be alone. Now, not only are they grieving over one bad relationship, now they have two bad relationships. And then there's the kids that they feel that they've lost. Their time sharing, their visitation is not always 50%, and they feel that they've lost touch with their children.
Exactly. Y'all better take this serious. This divorce thing, this marriage thing, I still say, do not marry a modern woman. I really believe that. Don't you marry her. You're gonna put yourself in a bad situation. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but man, look here. These girls are being taught to be rebellious. They're taught to divorce you. They're not taught to be married to you and to stay with you. They taught that if they get with you and you got something, they can take half of your shit. That's what they're taught. They're not talking about if you get with a man, make it work, even if there's struggles, even if it's ups and downs. If you get tired of him, just leave him alone, get half of that stuff and start a new life, get with another man. This is what we see every day. We see this in divorce courts. We see what men are going through all the time. I'm telling you, being legally married today with a modern woman to a Jezebel is going to be the end of you. And you don't know if you're going to be one of these gentlemen that these people are talking about who will end themselves over a woman. You don't know, but until you get in that situation. All right. So let me go ahead. Excuse me. That will be the end of today's episode. You let me know what you think about it. I'll be talking to y'all pretty soon. Y'all stay safe now. You hear?